8 signs he's faking emotional intelligence just to sleep with you. What Marcus Aurelius and Seneca would warn you about modern emotionally aware men. Let's talk about it. You've met someone who listens, who mirrors your feelings, who says, "Wow, I totally get what you're going through." And for a moment, it feels safe. Finally, someone who's not a walking red flag in skinny jeans. But before you start journaling about divine timing, let's press pause, because here's the harsh Stoic truth. Not everyone who sounds emotionally intelligent is. And sometimes emotional fluency is a weapon, a performance, a means to an end, especially if that end involves your body, not your mind or soul. Stoicism, as taught by Marcus Aurelius and Seneca, wasn't just about enduring hardship. It was about clarity, discernment, not being seduced by appearances or led astray by temporary pleasure. In a world of curated personas and spiritual manipulation, these ancient minds are more relevant than ever. So if you suspect you're being emotionally manipulated by someone posing as emotionally intelligent, here are 8 signs backed by Stoic insight that he's faking it just to get what he wants. 1. He listens to respond, not to understand. At first, he seems attentive. He nods, repeats your words. Maybe he even drops phrases like emotional regulation or inner child. But over time, his responses feel empty. He doesn't ask deeper questions. He rarely follows up on the vulnerable things you've shared. Marcus Aurelius said, "The opinion of 10,000 men is of no value if none of them know anything about the subject." If his empathy is surface level, it's not real intelligence, it's mimicry. A man of virtue seeks understanding, not opportunity. 2. He weaponizes vulnerability. This is the guy who trauma dumps on date 2. He's had a hard life, his ex was toxic, and he's just looking for peace. You start to feel like you're the one who has to help him heal. This is a common manipulation tactic, fake vulnerability to fast-track intimacy. Seneca warned us, it is not the man who has too little, but the man who craves more that is poor. He may appear emotionally open, but what he's craving isn't connection, it's conquest. 3. His growth is always talk, never action. He'll tell you he's working on himself. He reads all the books, follows all the therapy meme pages, and knows his attachment style. But has he apologized sincerely, made different choices, stood in discomfort without making it your problem? Marcus Aurelius reminds us, waste no more time arguing about what a good man should be. Be one. If he talks emotional growth but doesn't walk it, he's not growing, he's grooming. 4. He uses your values as leverage. He mirrors your ideals, says he also values authenticity, presence, and emotional safety. He uses your language like currency, but only to buy access. Real emotional intelligence isn't about fluency in self-help lingo, it's about integrity. Watch how he behaves when you set boundaries, not how he praises them. 5. Your body feels unsafe, even when your mind is confused. Stoicism wasn't about ignoring the body, it was about not letting it rule you. But our bodies are still wise. If your gut feels off, if you feel nervous, anxious, or drained after seeing him, it's not paranoia, it's perception. Marcus said, if it is not right, do not do it. If it is not true, do not say it. Fake emotional intelligence creates confusion. True virtue brings peace. 6. He rushes emotional intimacy to bypass real connection. Wow, I've never felt this way before. You're so different. I can talk to you about things I've never told anyone. It feels flattering until you realize this man has known you for a week and has already planned your spiritual wedding. This is love bombing dressed in a therapist's cardigan. Seneca taught, time discovers truth. If it's real, it won't need to sprint. Watch for consistency over time. A Stoic knows that true character reveals itself slowly. 7. He can't handle your emotional depth. You open up, you cry, you show the messiness of real human feeling. Suddenly, he's distant, cold. Or worse, he shames you for being too much or says, that's a bit negative, don't you think? That's not emotional intelligence. That's ego avoidance. Marcus wrote, the impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way. If he can't face your truth, he's not emotionally intelligent. He's emotionally avoidant with a vocabulary. 8. He's a different person when sex is off the table. This is the final test. Say no to sex. Delay it. Set a boundary. Watch what happens. Does he disappear? Guilt trip you? Suddenly become busy? Seneca reminds us, you are a great man, but how do I know it if fortune gives you no opportunity of showing your virtue? His reaction to not getting what he wants tells you everything. Emotional intelligence without virtue is just strategy. So what would the Stoics do? They would say, do not attach your worth to his attention. Do not confuse performance with presence. And above all, do not let temporary pleasure rob you of long-term peace. Seneca would tell you to ask, what does this man's soul look like? Marcus would tell you, look within. Within is the fountain of good. Your intuition is not naive. Your wisdom is not too much. Your emotional depth is not a liability. It's your superpower. A Stoic call to action: protect your peace. If any of these signs feel familiar, it's not too late to choose differently. You don't need to confront, argue, or prove yourself. Simply withdraw your energy. You owe no one continued access to your vulnerability. Let your detachment be dignified. Let your silence be sacred. And let your standards remain high. Not because you're difficult to please, but because your peace is hard-earned. Final word from the ancients. As we step into a new month, may you embody the strength of Marcus, the discernment of Seneca, and the self-respect of someone who knows. You are not someone to be figured out or played. You are someone to be honored. Step into May with grace, with clarity, with calm power. Let them perform. You stay rooted. Because real intelligence isn't how someone speaks. It's how they show up when no one's watching.